What's up, everybody? This is Master Ian Gamer, and it's that time again. That's right, we have more official survey skins from Blizzard showing off potential new skins and skin themes. And I gotta admit, we've had some juicy ones in the past, but these are setting a whole new standard. So let's go ahead and jump in, taking a look at these survey skins and talking about what's in store. First up though, I would like to mention these were shared on Twitter by yokai_OW. They were the person who apparently received the survey, along with many others presumably, and did go ahead and share the images in the survey itself, along with an actual list of the apparent themes either shown here or being considered. So moving through the images we have in order of them appearing on the list. First up, we have Overwatch memes. Yes, it seems Blizzard has officially considered making Overwatch memes skins in-game, which is a good idea, I gotta admit. Of the ones seen here, it looks like we have a I Need Healing Genji skin, where he's in his underwear and is all damaged and has healing stuff on him. Winston, of course, is the Winton plushie. Yeah, perhaps the most famous Overwatch meme, at least in this day and age. No surprised to see them doing this here. And then lo and behold, we have a interesting interpretation of the whole Wrecking Ball meme. I'm disappointed to see they didn't fully commit to the flesh hamster mech idea. Instead, they just went with a mechanical robotic mech that looks like a hamster, and then gave Hammond the exaggerated Winston face, which I guess was a meme kind of a while ago, that component of it. But yeah, interesting all around to see them approach the idea of skins like this in an official context. Next up though, we get some which I expect would be quite popular were they to be added: the Pool Party collection, featuring pool skins for Illari, Mei, Symmetra, Junker Queen, and of course Reinhardt. Personally, I think I actually like the Reinhardt one the most. I think it's the most fun, with the idea of giving him the sort of floaties and life preserver to sort of give him that bulk. And then even what they do with the hammer, making it like a water-filled splash hammer that just looks so much fun. The other characters, of course, though, have very nice skins, you could say. Ones which I'm sure would be oh so popular if they were to ever officially be added. But moving on, next up we have the 8-bit set. An interesting and very colorful and goofy sort of collection here for D.Va, Genji, Reinhardt, and Sombra, all themed around a sort of 8-bit retro video game style aesthetic. I think D.Va's is particularly interesting, how there's like little joysticks for the fins on her mech, and overall has a very sort of like retro star colorful sort of vibe. Genji's head being a CRT monitor is a very funny touch for this one, and of course he has got the little cyber sword. Reinhardt being a 8-bit king, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And then Sombra's, I think, is the least interesting out of these four. She just looks to be some sort of hacker digital something. Nothing too special. The other three, though, I think are very fun. It would be very interesting skins to end up seeing. But then next up, in a similar sci-fi sort of vein, we have the Sci-Fi Bunny collection, with skins for Juno, Ashe, Genji, and D.Va. These definitely lean more into the high-tech, cool sort of sci-fi, as opposed to the goofy we saw in the previous set, and all seem to have an overall sort of bunny theme with the ears and everything, which interesting to go with an overarching bunny theme, I suppose. I mean, I guess it makes sense for D.Va specifically, but for the others as well, I don't know if that would necessarily be the right way to do it. Maybe you end up sort of pigeonholing the designs a little bit. Although I must say that Bob looks rather interesting with that design. I'd almost say he looks more like a dog, like a jackal or something, as opposed to a rabbit with that head shape. But either way, an interesting collection here, to say the least. Followed by the Vampire family set for Symmetra, Kiriko, Junker Queen, and Roadhog. Wow, yeah, these are definitely a style. Not a style which I can say I'm personally that interested in overall aesthetically, but I do quite like the aesthetic for Roadhog, where they implement that sort of like vampire bat mask face thing on him. Interesting design. The idea of creating like a family of vampire characters, I think, is sort of fun for like a set of skins like this. And the idea of Roadhog being the dad, I don't know, something about that just feels fun and unique and different from what we've seen previously. But speaking of popular, next up we have 4 skins which which are surely gonna make some people's top tier lists, and that is wedding formal wear for Mercy, Juno, Kiriko, and Genji. These are pretty nice skins. Honestly, I like the idea of these because we don't really have anything like this in game already. We do technically have the Ghost Bride skin for Widowmaker, which is kind of similar, but leans more into the horror direction of it. I like the idea of just having straight up wedding apparel, especially for characters like Mercy, Juno, and Kiriko. I can't help but feel like those would be very popular and would sell very, very well. And Genji, of course, dapper as always. He fits right in there with the rest of them. These are certainly skins right here, which I would love to see in game. Moving on though, we then have a collection of sort of dark medieval and fallen angels skins. These are two separately listed categories in the survey, but it's kind of hard to tell which is which per se. So we'll take a look at this one first, featuring skins for Orisa, Genji, Mercy, and Ashe. These definitely carry a sort of Dark Souls vibe, if you ask me. The sort of not quite demonic, but definitely sort of like nightmarish-esque medieval look. Again, an aesthetic which I'm really not personally a fan of, but I know people do like this sort of thing, so I think it's a cool idea. Personally, I think the Orisa and Genji skins look the best. I think the masks just work really well on them, and the idea of taking Orisa and almost giving her like an Iron Maiden type aesthetic, that's the sort of vibe I'm getting from her there. And she already has such a strange shape overall that I think this kind of suits her in a weird sort of creepy way. And then Genji's, I just sort of like the colors with it, and it definitely looks almost like a hellish sort of like night type thing. Overall, pretty cool lineup we've got here. Not my personal favorites, I wouldn't say, but next up we have these skins as well, which again fit into the whole dark medieval fallen angels theme, featuring skins for Soldier 76, Hanzo, Genji, Ana again, and Moira. Again, these have a sort of pseudo medieval type, like godly type aesthetic to them, where they have a lot of glowing components and like the gold colors or the bright blues. Again, I think Genji really sort of sticks out as a really interesting looking one here, as does Soldier as well. I really like the way they integrate the pulse rifle with this sort of weird medieval sword weapon energy thing. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But then we move on to the final set of skins here in this survey, which now that I'm looking at them again, I think may actually be the fallen angel skins listed, given that they all have the wings and halos. But overall, they sort of stuck out to me as being more of a heavy metal biker type theme, being for Pharah, Sombra, Cassidy, and Genji. Yeah, they're definitely a vibe. Again, one that I'm not personally a fan of, but I can recognize that they're pretty cool in their own right. Cassidy's, I think, by far is the best looking here because, of course, he just perfectly fits that aesthetic to begin with, but all four of them do look pretty cool as well. Either way, a massive number of survey skins to take a look at here, ones which I'm sure everybody is going to find at least a couple that resonate with them, and hopefully we actually end up seeing some of these in-game one day. This is the third major survey of Overwatch skins we've had over like the past year or so, and thus far we haven't really seen any of them make it into the game. Perhaps the formal Mercy skin releasing this season, season 12, is technically one we saw in the surveys, although it wasn't identical to what we saw back then. But overall, I am curious to see how many of these skins do one day end up making it into the game, how many, if any, end up making it. And I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on all these in the comments down below. Are there any which really stuck out to you that you definitely want to see in game one day? Or maybe you didn't like any of them and you have your own ideas for how they could change them. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, be sure to subscribe, hit up that bell icon, follow me on X, and join my Discord server to never miss out on any future Overwatch 2 news, streams, and other content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. And otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.